Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Let's get paid. It's getting cold outside, as you can see with the jacket, but the picks are coming in hotter than ever. Make sure you check out my Vegas spread picks that are recorded every Tuesday and turn on the notifications. Let's get to the week 10 over-unders. First game, we got the Colts at the Tennessee Titans. Over-under is 48.5. I'm going over here because this Tennessee defense, they look good on paper, but they disappoint every week. And one thing we need to understand is this Colts defense is good, but it's not elite. Everyone's overrating it just a wee bit. I think the Tennessee offense has a good game, and I think the Colts offense has a good game. That's why I think this swings to just above over. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The over-under is 46.5. I got this going under, and I think both offenses will have capable performances, but we got questions about Big Ben. We got questions about the Steelers in this day and age of COVID, the COVID regulations they have to follow. I think this slows down their offense a little bit. Plus the Cincinnati defense, you can't say a lot good about it, but they have been looking better in the red zone. I think Pittsburgh kicks more field goals than they score touchdowns. And this Pittsburgh defense is damn good, but you want to know what? Joe Burrow's damn good. And like I said yesterday, you can't put a number, you can't put an intangible on Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow brings something special. Joe Burrow is a force of nature. Joe Burrow will be here to stay. He'll be able to manufacture points, but I think this just goes just a wee bit under. Next game, we got the Washington football team at the Detroit Lions, over under 45.5. Whenever Washington's involved, I go under, and there isn't a lot of science here. I know Detroit's offense, they looked pretty bad against Minnesota last week, but I think Detroit's offense will be competent in this game. But my question is, will the Washington offense be competent? And I know everyone's going for the fairy tale story, the Winn-Dixie, the Old Yeller story of Alex Smith coming back from injury. And yes, that is a good storyline, but I've watched all his film when he came in this year, and it wasn't pretty. But this Washington offense isn't pretty. You could put Tom Brady at quarterback, they would still struggle. That's how bad this offense is. Go under here. Next game, we got the Houston Texans at the Cleveland Browns, over under 49. I'm going to go with a surprise under. Houston's offense is looking pretty good, but we need to keep that in perspective, and we need to frame it in the proper lens. If a Jacksonville win gets you excited, and you're in the wrong business, you shouldn't be gambling. You're too emotional for this. On the Cleveland offense, I think they'll be good this game, but this game's more about the Cleveland defense, and I think their front four rages hell on Deshaun Watson. If Houston comes out here and runs it, then I think they can put up a lot of points. But are they going to be able to run it against this Browns front? No. This is going under. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the Green Bay Packers, over under 48.5. I think this slides to over. I know a lot of people are going to say this is going under. Jacksonville offense sucks. But they did show a little bit of life last week. I'm happy Minshew's out. This team can finally move on. They can finally focus. I remember debating Jacksonville fans about Minshew being the franchise quarterback in the future. That made my face just go numb. I was so sick of it. This is going to go over, though. Green Bay is going to put up their points, but Jacksonville, they're going to put up at least 17, 20 points, even if it's in garbage time. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants, over under 44.5. When I did the calculations for this game, I was saying 2017, 21-20, 24-20. Listen, it's going to go under, but it's going to be right smack dab on what the Vegas computer spit out. So stay away from this one. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers, over under 50.5. Money, 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 money. I'm going over here. I like this over because Christian McCaffrey won't be playing for the Panthers, but this Panthers offense seems to have ideas. They seem to have a different package every week that leaves opposing defenses confused. And if Carolina can just get a little run pass balance, I think they'll be able to put up points and stay in this game with Tampa. And then do I need to say any more about Tampa Bay's offense going into this game? Do I need to say any more? Turn on that film against the Saints, and you tell me if that's going to happen again. You tell me if the Buccaneers won't be extremely motivated. This offense has something to prove, and they better come in here and take care of business and put up 30-plus points. Because if the Tampa Bay offense does not have a good game, we all know Carolina can come in here and steal this game. Carolina can steal this if the Buccaneers offense does not improve and does not hit the heights that we think they can. Go over here. Next game, we got the Denver Broncos at the Las Vegas Raiders, over under 50.5. I'm going to go with a surprise under here. And I know this podcast, we've won a lot of money with Denver and the Raiders this year. Not that this is betting the spread, but I want to throw a caveat into this. I don't want us getting biased about this, but I think it's going to go under, and I think it's because this Raiders defense shows up. And I think Locke is inconsistent. But also this Denver defense, I think they will give Carr a little bit of problems. But at the end of the day, the Raiders are going to run this ball and control clock. That's why I don't think it's going to go over. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Arizona Cardinals, over under 56.5. I have this going under, and this is another surprise because I'm sure everyone thinks it's going to go over, but I do have questions about the Bills defense. But you want to know what? I'm starting to have a few questions about this Arizona offense. If they don't get the run game going, they just aren't a good offense. They aren't a dynamic offense until they get the run game going. If they get run pass balance, this Arizona offense can play with anyone in this league. But sometimes Cliff Kingsbury gets away from it. And I think against the Bills, you have to run it. They got a great safety core. They got Tre'Davious White. That's what the Seahawks' mistake was last week. They didn't run it. They didn't stay to the run game. Every time they ran it, they got 6-7 yards, yet they would go away from it. And so overall, I think this game's going to go under. And this Bills offense, they looked great last week. Arizona has problems on defense, but I think Arizona's defense responds a little bit. Nothing crazy. Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Los Angeles Rams, over under 53.5. This one's tough. I'm going to go over because Seattle can't stop anyone. We know about the Rams front four, front seven. We can talk about that all day. I think that will slow down Russell a wee bit, but not too much. Not too much. You got Jalen Ramsey in the back end, but I still think Seattle can exploit this Rams defense in ways. But also my problem is I think the Rams are going to run the ball down Seattle's throat. And I think big chunk plays are going to happen with play action because eventually this Seattle defense, they have to get out of the cover three. We saw them get out of the cover three in the second half against the Bills last week, and they played a little bit better, but that cover three is killing them. If they play that cover three against the Rams too often, Goff's going to have over 350 yards. I'm going over here. Next game, we got the 49ers at the New Orleans Saints. The over-under is 51.5 on some lines, 49 on others. I'm going to take that 51.5. I'm going to go under because I think San Fran's defense will put in a decent performance. I don't think it's going to be anything what Tampa Bay offered last week. Plus, I think San Fran, they're going to be running this rock a lot, and that's something they need to do. That will burn clock. And there's also the danger San Fran's offense just won't show up in this game. That's why this has all the makings of an under for me. Next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the New England Patriots. The over-under is 44.5. I got this going over because I think this Ravens offense kicks up into high gear this week. We saw some hits. We saw a little bit of sprinkles last week in the second half against Indy. We saw Lamar getting hot. We saw Lamar getting in rhythm. I don't know who's going to cover Mark Andrews on this New England defense. Ever since Patrick Chung decided to sit out, that middle of the field is just wide open against the Patriots. I think Baltimore exploits that. Plus, this New England run defense isn't as good as it was in the past. And I think Cam will be able to do a little bit of something. I think the man can squeak out 17, 20 points. Because if you watch the film of Cam the last 2 weeks, even with the crap weapons and artillery on this New England offense, there's no supporting cast on the New England offense. Cam looked pretty good. I think they'll be able to scrape enough to push this over, and Baltimore's going to get into the 30s, I believe. Next game, we got the Chargers at the Miami Dolphins. The over-under is 48. And I'm going to go under because I think this Miami defense will play very good against the Chargers. And I think this Chargers offense, everyone likes to say the Chargers have a run game, but I don't think so. This offense is more about Keenan Allen and Herbert. Let's be realistic. I think Miami has the schemes. Flores has the brain power to match that. And I'm not liking the positions Anthony Lynn is leaving his team in. That's why I'm going under. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. The Bears over under. Wow, we have one line at 40.5. We got the other lines at 43.5. I'm going over either way. This is a tough one because you have a Bears offense that sometimes they just won't show up to dance. It's prom. They get the dance date. Their defense plays good. Everything's set up. The gal puts out the hand, say, let's dance. And the Chicago offense just won't dance. And that could be the problem. But I think this Minnesota Vikings defense is a good remedy for this. That's why I'm going to go over. Because Minnesota, they don't have Ngakwe anymore, and they don't have Hunter. They've been getting a decent pass rush these last few weeks, but come on, this pass rush isn't going to take over the game, no matter how weak this Bears offensive line is. And did I mention Dalvin Cook? Dalvin Cook. That's all I need to say about the Minnesota Vikings offense. I'm going over. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Make sure you share these videos. You are the reason we're growing. I will have a live call-in show Friday, 4:30. Thank you.